So we can use a moment to really settle in here and feel each other together, really sharing this moment, whether it be live or recorded later. We meet in this voice, in a shared intention, and maybe even a shared love for meditation or curiosity in meditation. So that gives us a warm welcome together. We can feel this warmth in this moment, really allow it to arrive in the heart. And as we feel each other, we notice that we feel each other in ourselves. So I can't feel you outside myself. I can only feel you through feeling me. Very simple. So when I invite us to feel one another, I really invite us to feel ourselves. And notice already how this division between me and you has dissolved. So there's only one feeling. Well, that's why I like to say one another, feeling one another, rather than each other. There's no other here. Just a one. And you can relax in this oneness, really. And then let me share a few words about this topic that I set for today on loneliness from this space of oneness, right? So we listen from this one feeling rather than you listen to me, you listen to yourself as my voice appears. So loneliness. I want to speak about creation of loneliness, maintaining loneliness, and destroying loneliness. So creating loneliness, how do we do it? Well, we create loneliness with our mind. So the idea is often, okay, I'm lonely because I live in a city, nobody likes to connect here. I live in the country, so I'm always alone. But actually, that is not true. Actually, the truth is, whatever circumstances I'm in, I create thoughts, and these thoughts separate me from everyone else. So let's say I go on Instagram, I see people's experiences, and then I think of my own experience. So I get a little disappointed, or I get envious. So in that moment, I make a separation, right? Even going on the street in the city, I see the people, I have a judgment, I have an idea, I have a thought. And that thought separates me from the people on the street. So again, I'm alone, or I appear to be alone. So this is the creation of loneliness. Now, when we have this separation in thought, then also we manifest that in the life. So we get more and more separate, more and more alone. We have the story of I'm lonely. So this is already the maintaining, right? We're maintaining loneliness with our mind. So we have this belief, I'm lonely. And then when we go out into the city, or we even meet friends, we still feel lonely. Or we are in a big group, still feel lonely. Because we have this set of thoughts that we developed about ourselves and about the so-called world out there. Okay. And then comes, I go very fast. I want to meditate. But of course, meditation has already begun. So remember to really feel yourself as you listen. And that feeling is the meditation. Okay, so then destruction of loneliness. Now, maybe the idea is, now I can get rid of it. I can get rid of the loneliness. But that is actually the illusion. Meaning, when I try to get rid of loneliness, then already I set an intention. That's very good. I set the intention, no longer be lonely. But that intention in itself makes me more lonely. Because I have to create the intention with thought. So again, it separates me from everyone else. So then I start to fight loneliness, maybe with meditation, maybe by going out a lot, maybe go on a dating app, whatever comes to your mind. This is what I do now to not feel lonely anymore. So I try to change my outside world, try to change what I do. The doing is changed. And maybe it will help a little bit, make me feel a little less lonely, but somehow underneath, I still feel the same. And somehow underneath, it doesn't want to go away. Same with tension. Yeah, but I don't want to change the topic, but same with the tension. I feel tension, so I want to get rid of the tension. Maybe I get a little bit successful, but the tension continues. So when we try to destroy or destruct loneliness, it will be very difficult. With thought, still in the mind, I want to get rid of loneliness. So then there is maybe another path. And that other path is actually, rather than change outside, start to change one's mind. Now I point on my jaw, but I mean the mind. Is it here? I don't know. So change the mind. Yeah. So what does it mean, change the mind on the topic of loneliness? It means to meet the thoughts that are coming my way that separate me from everyone else, separate me from the group, from my partner, from whatever. So I start to meet those thoughts. I start to see them. And in the seeing, I'm able slowly to relax. Because when I see, I'm no longer completely in the thought, not knowing that I'm thinking. So I learn to see clearly, sharply. Oh, now I have a judgment about this person. Is it really true? So I start to see the thought. And when I see the thought, and I learned that actually these thoughts separate me, make me feel lonely, then I realize, okay, this is very important. I have to pay very, very careful attention to these thoughts because they may be the root of my loneliness. The thought is the root of my loneliness. So what to do? Now, the way of destruction would be, okay, I cut the thought, no longer want to think. And then you get maybe a little bit dull, no longer thinking at all. That's not so good. So cutting the thought can be a start. But really, it's to see the thought and investigate. Investigate just by looking. See, is it true? Relax in that. Let the thought go. So I'm not fighting the thought. I just see, relax, and let go, although it is not me that is letting go. Well, thanks, bye-bye, thought, but I just allow, and eventually will go. But it only goes if I don't fight. If I don't create another thought on top of the thought to try and destroy the first thought. You understand? So if I think, oh my God, I have a thought, that makes me feel more separate from people, more lonely. I shouldn't have this thought. That's another thought. So thought comes, I meet the thought. I'm still with it, silent with it, clear with it. And it will pass. So that's very simple, yet very advanced meditation. And it's meditation to help get out of loneliness. And of course, there's loneliness and then there's solitude. Solitude, actually being alone, but enjoying to be alone. Enjoying because there's silence, stillness in the mind. It's the greatest joy. When the mind is so still and quiet that I hear the birds, I see the sunset, I feel myself. Everything has colors. And yet, nothing, I get stuck on nothing. Because there's no thought to entertain what is happening. It just happens. In solitude, silence, stillness. So the only thing that distinguishes solitude from loneliness is the thought. And then, of course, the thought has we say in German, Rattenschwanz. So, like the tail of a rat. The thought has a tail of a rat. Because the thought creates emotion. Emotion creates physical sensation. Yeah, so I get sad or cramped, tense, because I have this thought, oh, my life is not so good on Instagram, looks better. Or I get sad, and then the body goes, gets cramped. So tension grows, then a start of illness or other things come in the body, get stuck, body gets stuck. Yeah, so the tail rat is thick and long. So be careful of the tail. Yeah. So it's not just the thought, it's all that comes with the thought. So that's also important. Otherwise, always investigate thought, but forget about the body, forget about the emotion. But it starts with the thought. Yeah? Particularly loneliness starts with the thought. Yeah? Because I can be alone and enjoy. It's called solitude. Yeah? So loneliness is not because I am alone. It's very important. Loneliness is not because I'm alone. This is really has to make click, that I remember this sentence when I feel lonely. Oh, it's not because I'm alone. Because I can be amongst a huge crowd still feel lonely. And it's not because of them. Yeah. So why? It's because I created thoughts. Yeah. And so this is important. Loneliness is not because we are alone. Loneliness is because of thought. Yep. Okay. Good. I think this is a very important topic. So I'm also happy we record this and share, because loneliness, very, very big issue for people. And I lived in London, so many people, and I felt lonely. Then moved to the countryside. Sometimes still feel lonely. So now this realization hits. Oh, it's not out there. It's not the city. It's not the countryside. It's not the people. It's what's happening in my mind. Yeah. And then when I know my mind, everybody's mind. Yeah. There's no my mind, your mind, their mind, her mind. One mind. We have one big, you can imagine, one big set of thoughts. Everybody has the same. Then we download different kind of parts of that same mind. Yeah, but we have access to all thoughts. That everybody has access to the same set of thoughts. And there is not an infinite number of set of thoughts. It's finite. It's limited. Thought is limited. Yeah, and we all in the same limited realm. So that infinite, that limitless dimension, beyond thought. So that goes slightly beyond the topic of loneliness, but it's nice also to know that we share all the same mind. So when I feel lonely, I know, okay, I am meeting what it means to be a human being. And then I can investigate. And when I realize I do work for many people, I do work for the whole human beings. So this is maybe also an encouragement to all of us to really work with our mind, because it is not self-development work, not personal development work, but really work with the mind is universal development, or how you say, for everybody. Because I create possibilities, pathways in my mind, and that pathway I open for other people too. So that's why meditation is a universal practice. It's not a personal practice. It's a practice for all of human beings, even animal, all living beings, yeah, all alive beings. Meditation practice, not just for myself. That's maybe the beginning of meditation, but this realization is very important. We have the same mind. So if I develop my mind, change mind, stillness, then I unlock a pathway for everyone. Not even I have to teach, I don't have to teach, but through my being, through my conversation, my connections with other people, I transmit without having to say anything. I transmit this pathway because we can see each other's minds. When you meet someone who's done something bad, probably you feel it. You have strange feeling. Or when you meet someone who has open heart and smile, you feel it. I feel it. So we can see each other's minds, hearts, bodies. So when I say mind, I never mean only here. I actually mean all of the body, emotion, everything. Yeah. Okay. Good. So we practice a little meditation together, meaning not really like it starts. We have already meditated, but more focused, more intentional. Yeah. So you can close your eyes if you want. Relax. So then notice yourself. What is this, yourself? And wherever you start here is correct. There's not a wrong or right way. Notice yourself. So you have to now investigate, make your own pathway, what this means for you. Notice yourself. Or feel yourself. And then see maybe how one starts with the body, with emotions, with the mind, thought, feeling, and then expand this. Notice yourself as a human being that has the same set of thoughts, emotions, physical qualities as all the other human beings on this planet. If it helps you, you can travel with your mind through different people you know, your family, different countries, different continents, and always notice yourself as this being that has the same thoughts, same emotions, same physical qualities as all other human beings. So this feeling is really vast and expansive, goes around the whole planet. And then notice how the alchemy in your body starts to change. It starts to expand and literally alchemize. Your mind relaxes, your emotions relax, your body relax. Not because you tell yourself, now relax, but because you expand beyond your own little me. You feel us. And maybe in the us, there's also some turmoil, some difficulty, difficult emotions. But we go back to the original us. The original us is our aliveness. The sense of being alive. That very original seed or core, essence of our being. It's our aliveness. You can help yourself by feeling the heartbeat, the pulse, even the breath. Recognize this aliveness also as not separate. My aliveness and your aliveness, but it is our aliveness. And then we include also animals trees, plants, all living creatures. Our aliveness. And in this moment, we work also for the animals, for the plants. We give the gift to them because we are able to be conscious of this aliveness, aware, we could say, and be in awe of this aliveness. This is our gift to all living beings. And then we go even further into the essence, into the core, into this awareness that is aware of this aliveness. This is, again, human beings' gift, that we can be aware of our own awareness, pure and clear as it is. And we rest here in this awareness. We relax in this awareness. Noticing the stillness of this awareness. Pristine clarity of this awareness. In the light of this awareness. In this awareness, we know that nothing is separate. There's no thought, no concept to distinguish. Just simple but pure clarity. Okay, thank you. This is really as simple as it gets. And know also that all topics lead to this. All topics lead to this awareness but it's still worth to investigate each of the topics. It's worth to go into loneliness, illness, and all other topics, all sufferings, all conflicts. They all lead, the spiritual teaching always leads to this awareness. But that doesn't deny the path to investigate the difficulty. So this is important, not to override how we feel. If we have a problem, really, I feel lonely, then not there, oh no, but we can just be aware. In this awareness, there's no loneliness. No. Face loneliness. Simply, clearly, directly meditate. See the thoughts. But there's not even one way to get to awareness. Like this meditation we've just done, I didn't expect it. You see what I mean? It's not something like a one pathway that leads you straight to empty awareness. There are many ways. But what's important is that we notice and that we have the right view to notice loneliness and then really see what is true about it. Or even notice illness or pain or worry. Notice this and investigate. Be aware and see that it is not out there that creates the worry. It is my thought, my mind creates the worry. Anything can happen, but you do not need to be worried. Again, doesn't mean, oh, I shouldn't feel worried because I'm always just aware. It not means, but it means that I have the right view and say, okay, I can see I'm worried. I notice this. And now I also see that this worry is from my mind, from not even my mind. It's from mind. And when I notice this, I no longer I'm attached to what happens outside, but I look, okay, inside. Let me see the worry. Let me meet the worry. Let me relax into the worry.